Hello there, guys, and welcome back to my channel for my live reaction and player ratings live stream following Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 1. And I am telling you guys, I am absolutely fuming. Why does this keep happening now? What is happening? Like, I put it in the title, and I know it's over the top, right? But I'm seriously sat here like, is this a crisis now? Are we experiencing what happened in Lampard's second season where we were flying at the beginning? We were probably top of the league in December. And then by the time we hit January, halfway through January, Lampard got sacked. I'm not saying this is going to happen to Maresca, but that's how badly the form is falling apart right now. 4 games without a win against Everton, Fulham, Ipswich, and Palace. Teams that we always beat. We always beat Palace, especially away, but we always beat Palace. This time, two games this season, we already played them twice, haven't beaten them once. Lost for the first time to Fulham since 1979. Is it a crisis? Or is it just a blip? I don't fucking know right now. Because genuinely what I feel like, let me just bring up that thing that I usually have up while I kind of do my first bit of talking. I'll get into you guys' comments in a minute. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you everybody that is here. I genuinely feel like I'm teleported back 18 months ago, back 2 years ago. What is going on? Why are we so shit all of a sudden? We can't score goals. We can't, like, second half, we can't even create chances. We can't see out a game when we have to. Like, we are absolutely useless. We are absolutely useless. Like, our first half, I was really happy with that first half. Like, except that we didn't take our chances. I thought that first half was brilliant. Maresca changed up the tactics. We did something completely different. Clearly surprised Palace. But of course, we couldn't capitalize on it. Palace adapted second half. But then all of a sudden, we didn't really know, on the one hand, how to defend anymore, even though there was already a couple of holes in the first half, but didn't know how to defend anymore, but just didn't create anything. Like, just didn't create anything. And then I see Cole Palmer, first of all, missing a tap-in. Like, he just missed the ball 5 yards out. He just missed the ball for a tap-in to make it 2-0. I could not believe it. Like, everyone will hop on and fly in on Nicholas Jackson and say, Jackson's shit, Jackson's missing this, Jackson's missing that, Jackson is the problem, get me a new striker. That's what everybody will be talking about. And I haven't looked at the chat yet, but I'm sure the large majority of the chat is saying exactly that. But then think about it. Palmer had by far, the biggest chance to put us 2-0 up. And it was also Palmer that decided to do like a little flick in the midfield, loses the ball, and we concede. Like, I'm not saying everything's on Palmer. Obviously, he did well to score the goal that he scored. But it's not just on Jackson, but Jackson as well. Caicedo wins the ball, then he's kind of not 1-1 with the goalkeeper, but a good chance, drags it wide. Once he's nicely played through, waits too long to shoot, gets blocked. Oh my days. And then the one where we had the nice free kick routine, where he's at the far post, doesn't get it on target. The one where he does the nice chop inside and then goes for it with the outside of his boot because he doesn't trust his left foot so much. And it wasn't even a bad effort with the outside of his right foot. Let's be honest, it wasn't a bad effort. Like, it was quite close to going in. If he scores that, we are all absolutely raving about it. But my God, we can't keep doing this. The Josh Acheampong chance, there was a chance. Honestly, I didn't see it, and for some reason, there's not been a. Okay, Amit, you're getting blocked. Sorry, absolutely no chance. Like, I'm not having this. I'm absolutely not having this. But yeah, Acheampong had a chance that I didn't see, unfortunately, and there was never a replay. I'm not sure if at some point anybody will send me a clip or something that I can see. But yeah, I'm not having that at all. Let me get to the chat, ladies and gentlemen. If you're new here, please be sure to subscribe, hit that like button for me. We'll deep dive into the game in every detail. Now, RD says like Jackson, but need to sign world-class striker to bury games. But that's not how it goes. Did you see there was a couple of chances that Jackson had, but the problem was that we couldn't create in the second half. And in the first half, it was Palmer the bottle. I'm close to blocking you as well. Don't talk to me about Vlahovic again. Should be 3-0. Yeah, no. Title race. We need to be careful. We're not letting top 4 slip away right now. 0 to trash striker Jackson. 4th game in a row. He is useless both in start and sub. 0 to clown keeper Sanchez. How much longer this season we're going to see him being inept of distribution ball properly? I mean, Sanchez wasn't the reason we lost today. I will say that. We dropped points again. Yeah, we did. These second halves remind me of Poch's second half drop-offs, literally. I mean, I am fuming. True that, Ricky. We used to have better second halves, and it's gone now. I mean, field depth is so bad. Caicedo and Enzo burn out soon. Yeah, that's part of the problem as well. We're only playing 1 game a week. Well, that's not true, is it? What? We played 9 games in December, and now another one on the 4th of January. So that's not true. Hi, Daniel. top 4 is in danger with Jackson. Stop going in after Jackson. I don't understand why you people are like that. The biggest chance that was missed today was Cole Palmer and not Nicholas Jackson. Like, why? I don't get this. Don't understand why we try to hold on to a 1-0 lead. Always need a second goal. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know if we didn't go for it. But anyway, does Enzo Maresca trust his bench and his subs? Was late. Honestly, that is a weird one because I actually, until like the 70th, 73rd, 4th, 5th minute, I was actually okay with not having made a sub because the people who we had on the bench, first of all, I thought we were playing a decent game. But also the second half, I just didn't feel like anyone that we had on the bench would change the problems that we had. You could have brought on Noni, but we did in the end bring Noni on for Sancho and put him on the left, which was a complete waste of time and space, really, because he didn't even do anything, right? So that you could have just not done that. And because we don't have any midfield depth, we don't have any midfield options, Noni was really your only sub. Sure, you could have taken Jackson off, but if you bring a Kunku on, you're going to get worse. If you bring Guehi on, it's very much a risk. So, I don't know. There is obviously a problem with the process. 3 years in, and we have the most inexperienced owners manager in the Premiership. The players were all better in their previous teams. I mean, they weren't. Half of the players you haven't even heard of in their previous teams. What? Also, are we relying on players rarely fit for tactical shape? I think that's a stretch, man. Don't you? Like, I think that's a bit of a stretch because we did change it up drastically tactically today. We'll get into that in a minute. But we'll see. If Laurenz comes back, we'll come back. In hindsight, Connor has been a huge loss. Shock. The balance of the team is, like most of last season, is all wrong. I disagree with that. I don't think the balance was the problem at all today. I think we played well in general, especially the first half was good. But anyway, Jackson is the reason we lost. Nobody can defend him. No, Palmer is a bigger reason that we lost than Jackson is. Gusto's a disgrace as well, and both by far worse players on the pitch. Harsh on Gusto as well. Palmer cost Chelsea the game. He is too casual at times. I agree. What are his crosses? What is his corners, man? Outrageous. Enzo and Caicedo are tired. Did they feel tired to you? We aren't firing up front. Need to see out a game. We just can't do it. Yeah, exactly. Forget Osimhen. Jacko is improving and will do the job. Chelsea fans never cease to amaze me. Well, it's a fact. And forget Osimhen because he's the same egotistical twat that Lukaku is. Why people blaming Sanchez? He had a great game. Yeah, he had a good game. He had like 1 or 2 bad passes, but that isn't what cost us in any way, shape, or form today. Newcastle were 12 points behind us before Christmas. Yeah, and now they're bloody close. It's not great, is it? Karan says, pick up Laurenz. It's simple. Smaller teams have figured out a way to play Chelsea. Nah, I disagree, guys. You're doing it too simple. Okay, let me bring up the lineup that we played today. So we changed dramatically how we play today. As you know, usually we play in a 3 base, a 2 midfield, and then a 4 to 5 up front. A 5 to 6 up front. Today, you call it a 4-1 base, or I would prefer to call it a 2 of the 2 centre-backs, and then a 3 of 2 of the fullbacks being wide and Caicedo being alone in the middle, and then having Enzo Fernandez and Cole Palmer moving in those half spaces. What was weird, and what I didn't understand, and what didn't work, in my opinion, was in the first half, it was like this. Enzo was on the left, Palmer was on the right. Second half, we changed it all of a sudden. And then we played it like this way around, and it just didn't work at all. It was really frustrating for me. It was really, really frustrating. I didn't understand why we did. It's fine to try something. I would love to know why Maresca decided to try it, because it didn't feel necessary. Like I say, I was fairly happy with the first half. But yeah, it was outrageous. But yeah, we did things extremely differently. And why did we do this? Because obviously, Crystal Palace set up in a 3-4-3, essentially. But the reason then we did this rather than building with 3 centre-backs, when you play against a 3-4-3 and you build in a back 3, that means they can man-for-man press your centre-backs. Now, sure, you can use your goalkeeper as the extra man. You can do that, but we know that's risky with Sanchez. And I think that's why Maresca changed the plan today, because of what they do. Because we spread them, we push them wide. Cucurella and Gusto going wide meant that their inside 10s, inside forwards behind Mateta, couldn't go press our centre-backs. So they basically only had Mateta for Chalobah and Acheampong, and basically it allowed us to have a better build-up, essentially. It also gave us better options because you could use these triangles fantastically nicely. Or these triangles, or this triangle. There are so many triangles that we could use today, and it was really working in the first half. I got to say, by the way, Jadon Sancho, purely for the first half, that was the perfect first half that Jadon Sancho could have played. The way he was working, his assist was outrageous anyway. Then he had nearly another one for Jackson as well. And the defensive work rate was just outrageous. He was megging people in our own box when we were defending our goal. It was unbelievable. It was genuinely unbelievable. So the setup was dramatically different, which is why it's so interesting that so many people are like, oh, I can't trust Maresca tactically. I can't this, I can't that. It's a little bit wild. Maybe I should have made this bigger so you can actually see that a little bit clearer. We have a super chat by Mo Flygerian. Thank you very much, Mo. Appreciate it. He said, I'll take Chris Wood over Jackson at this point. I wouldn't take him over Jackson, but I keep saying, bring me Chris Wood. I would love Chris Wood as a backup striker. It would be perfect. Literally perfect. But it's not going to happen, is it? It's absolutely not going to happen. No. Well, partly for sure. But the only one? Absolutely not. Palmer is the one that missed a big chance. Palmer is the one that lost the ball to make us concede. It's been shocking. It's been actually shocking. How that kind of came to earth. We know the pivot of Caicedo and Enzo as well. We're not. This is the problem, Enzo. We are not playing a pivot of Enzo and Caicedo. That is not what we are playing. Like, I don't know what reality you live in, but we don't play this. And Caicedo can do it alone because the problem was not in the middle. The only problem that we did have today, and I have to be honest about it, Cucurella, he had a tough game. Because he was obviously in this position in possession. Out of possession, he was obviously a bit more closer. And the amount of switches, let's pretend Neto is the ball, that they played from over there to over here, to Muniz, to behind, or Muniz, whatever, to behind Cucurella, and he just let him go too many times. Let him create chances, let them get into the game. Happened in the first half, happened the longer the second half went on, it happened even more. Yeah, that was our biggest issue. I don't think Caicedo was the issue at all. I don't think the midfield was the issue at all, if I'm being honest. Coach is not using subs. That's kind of true. But at the same time, did we have anyone on the bench that you would have felt would have changed things dramatically today? I didn't, man. I have to say, I honestly didn't. Yeah, you could have brought on Noni, but I don't know, man. I'm frustrated. I'm really, really frustrated. It's madness not playing Chukwuemeka. Is he fit again? I don't know if he's fit again. I don't know if Caicedo and Enzo looked tired. I thought, in particular, Enzo Fernandez had a good game. I thought he was playing well. He was fighting. He was doing a job. And Caicedo as well, getting very unlucky with the referee many times again, in the sense that, Caicedo does perfectly fine things, referee giving fouls. I'm still not sure if we shouldn't have had a penalty. They waived that for me way too quickly and way too clearly. They also never showed us a replay of the potential handball in the build-up to Crystal Palace's goal. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Another thing I really don't like, and it's, again, mostly about Palmer, but a lot of the team, it almost feels like we're good at counter-attacking with the players we have, Jackson, Neto, Palmer. We have good players to hit opposition on the counter-attack. And there was moments today where we were breaking. 4 or 5 players were steaming up the pitch. And then we just stopped it. And in particular, Palmer, there was 2 or 3 occasions where he had them fairly comfortable through ball to Jackson on. Obviously, it doesn't mean that necessarily you score. But he decided not to play the pass. And we played it short, let Palace go back in their shape, and we started to build. And I'm like, we're currently struggling to score goals. How about we try to use transition moments? I find that absolutely wild. I find it absolutely wild. Maresca not trusting our players. Yeah, I mean, anyway. Should Neto be on corners over Palmer? Maybe, but the reason he's probably not is we need Neto to defend in case of transition, and Neto is very fast. Why is James on the bench if we're not going to use him? Well, that's the interesting thing, because Maresca in the press conference said yesterday that James will get minutes today, and then he didn't, which is also very, very odd, I gotta say. At least the run Man City have had, they're only 2 points behind us. Yeah, well, the run we've had now, 100% we are struggling. We are struggling, that's for damn sure. I mean, let's go into FODMOB, shall we? Let's look at the stats. I haven't even looked at it in enough detail, if I'm being honest, the stats post-game. So let's look at it together. Let's see what we see. Supposedly, we only had 1 shot on target, which I find a little bit wild. But supposedly we did. In the end, we still had more unexpected goals. Like we said, obviously, we had the goal that we scored. I'm not sure if Palmer's miss off the ball is even counted as any sort of chance, as any sort of XG, because Palmer had a tap-in from 5 yards and he missed the ball because he mistimed or misjudged the pass from Neto, which was a great pass and a great run and a great build-up. It was wonderful. It was truly wonderful. But Palmer just missed it. So, and then obviously the Jackson chances, the Caicedo shot that they had, that Enzo Fernandez shot that we had, that Acheampong chance that I didn't actually see. Yeah, it's just frustrating. I mean, they had obviously more shots on target, supposedly more big chances. We didn't miss a big chance. Certainly feels different. Or certainly the fans speak differently. The one big chance that you could say was Palmer's, and obviously because he didn't actually hit the ball. It doesn't count as a chance. But yeah, I mean, we had a lot of shots off target and more shots in total, but just not a lot on target. Obviously, blocked shots, there was quite a few in there as well. Frustrating, man. Frustrating. I mean, if I get to go to the lineup, how did they shape it up? Essentially the same as always. But obviously, like we said, how our shape was different to usual today. Let's look at Robert Sanchez first and foremost, right? I thought he had a good game, if I'm being honest. I thought he made 2 or 3 really good saves, actually. There was the one moment where he rolled it out a bit stupidly. I didn't really understand that. He played a couple of nice passes too. I got to say, there was one really good through ball to Palmer that he played on the ground. There was an over-the-top ball to Neto that was good. One to Sancho that was good. I honestly thought Sanchez had a good game today, if I'm being honest. Don't think he can do a single thing about the goal. And he made one really small mistake that didn't really lead to anything. So with that being said, I think I'll give Sanchez like a... I think I'll give him a 6.5. I was thinking 7, but I'm just too annoyed at the fact that we didn't win. But I think he deserves more than just a plain average rating. So that's why I'll give him a 6.5. I'll give him a 6.5. Let me see what more we can talk about. 2-3-5 formation is being worked out. Maybe. Or maybe not. But that's not the formation we used today. So maybe we should have used it. And maybe then we wouldn't have had that issue. When you play with 4 at the back, the formation has an extra attacker, but back 5 we struggle against. Yeah, that's why we often then play a 3-1-6 or a 2-2-6. But today we didn't do either of those things, which tactically worked fantastically the first half. But we just absolutely didn't take our chances. And therefore, in the second half, Palace then adapted, and we then didn't really know how to deal with it. And that's kind of what happens when you all of a sudden play a different shape, a new system, and then it works initially, but then the opposition does something to harm you, and then you're not experienced enough at it to still make it work. Could we have then changed our shape again? Potentially. That is something different to consider. Cosmin says, when are we going to have a conversation about our set-piece routine? Well, there was a really nice one that we could have scored from through Jackson today, which unfortunately didn't come to anything, but yeah. I think at this point, we should just give Guehi a chance to start. I mean, maybe. But it's still a little bit far and a little bit wild, don't you guys think? I mean, I think so anyway. Sign Schlotterbeck and Isak next summer. I don't really rate Schlotterbeck like that, you know. But yeah, Isak's just too expensive. There's no point in having Isak and Jackson. Like, if you're going to sign a striker like Jackson, then what you need to do is sell Jackson and sign a backup to Isak. There's no point in having those two. It's just pointless. No, I absolutely do not think that, because I think Glasner and Crystal Palace got massively surprised in the first half. Like Glasner literally spoke about it yesterday. He was asked about the press conference, you know, do you think blah, blah, blah. He wasn't taking the dig at all. He was just saying, well, no, I don't think they're going to surprise us. They do what they do. He then spoke about what we do. Not exactly shocking that a Premier League manager figures out how we play when I know how we play, and most of you know how we play. So it's not shocking that he found out. And he was like, yeah, I don't think they're going to surprise us. They believe in what they do. And then we went and did actually surprise them. So that's quite funny. Lukey says, Acheampong had a free header, could very well have done better. Yeah, this is the chance I didn't see. This is the chance I didn't see, and I never saw a replay. It's weird. Bro, Jackson is not the guy to be our main striker. Missed some chances, proper strikers will score. Yeah, but then Haaland missed chance after chance after chance in the last few weeks. You know, it is what it is. Just because Jackson has had 4 games where he doesn't score doesn't mean he's now shit. I don't understand why people go this far. The problem that, in my opinion, the problem that we have is that we don't have any goal threat from anybody else other than Cole Palmer and Nicholas Jackson. We have no goal threat from anyone. We don't have much of a goal threat from set pieces. We never score from corners. When we score from corners quite often in the Conference League and stuff. Obviously, less opposition. Maybe that helps. Maybe it's, you know, the Tosins, the Disassis, the Badiashvili being, and Renato Vegas being bigger. I don't know. But we don't have enough goal threat at the moment. Like, it's Palmer or Jackson or nobody, because Neto doesn't get close to scoring goals. Sancho doesn't get close to scoring goals. The way we're making it play, it's not really working. Enzo had one in the second half where he arguably could have done a little bit better with. I still don't understand why we shifted it around like that. I still don't get it. It made it less comfortable to shoot for both of them. I just think we made it unnecessarily complicated. Yeah, Jackson's not the problem. Set pieces are very disappointing. Yeah, exactly. If Jackson as Palmer aren't scoring, nobody else is. Yeah, exactly. I just think if it's not those two that score a goal, no one scores. And I think that's kind of the biggest problem at the moment. That's kind of the biggest problem. Yeah, not enough goals from our wingers. Now, obviously, the way we set up, the way Maresca has the wingers play, you're not going to get the wingers score loads and loads of goals. We could do on transition, but in terms of normal open play, it's not really going to happen because we want the wingers to stay wide and create the width. So it's going to be more someone in the middle, which is fine. But it still needs to be more people than just Palmer and Jackson. It can't just be those two. Yeah, exactly. Time for some rotation. But that's what we did that's what we did last game. And in my opinion, the reason we lost to Ipswich so comfortably was because we overdid it with rotation. I don't think rotation is the solution at all. I think we just need to take our chances. Honestly, I think we need to put some pressure on these guys. I think Maresca needs to put them under more pressure because this is too, like, we're just too soft. Too much waffle about not in the title race, man. Chelsea's last season vibes creeping back. We need to play Spurs or United soon. But I mean, United at home, okay, but we never beat United, do we? Isn't any worry? We still have not a share sponsor. Well, it's interesting. Well, they won't invest in Chelsea. Generally questionable. Supposedly, we are very close to getting one, and supposedly the likelihood is that will get done in January. One of the big airlines, presumably either Qatar Airways or Riyadh Air. Let's see what happens with that. Anyway. Let's get into us two centre-backs. Let me do the two centre-backs in one so I don't have to switch screens every 12 minutes. 12 minutes? Every 12 seconds, I meant. Still got Sanchez open here. Let's do Colwell first. Got booked, which in my opinion, I don't know why people had to go with that. For me, it was a very clear booking. To be fair, the ref kind of blew the whistle first, which then makes it a bit outrageous, but that's another whole topic. I thought you had a great block or a great deflection to put a good chance from Eze wide. Was it even Eze? Might have been Mateta, to be honest. Or Lerma. They had too many chances like that. He lost his man. Oh, he just did this. It was a bit unlucky. Like when Palmer lost the ball, the way he tried to press, and then he left Mateta alone. But Acheampong had to deal with the guy running in behind, I think Eze, and was covering for that. And then Mateta was alone. Chalobah didn't get there anymore. Cucurella was too far away to get there in time and nearly did, but just about didn't. But in general, I actually thought Chalobah had a good game. 96% passing accuracy is very strong. 5 out of 5 long balls is very strong. 1 out of 2 tackles is very strong. 3 out of 3 ground duels is very strong. 4 out of 7 ground duels is good against Mateta in particular. I'll give Chalobah a 7. Daddy Omo, probably. But do we need another 10, bro? Do we need another 10? If we didn't have all these players in all these positions already, I might agree, but we do. So I disagree, if that makes sense. Just to finish it off in terms of the two centre-backs, I'll give Colwell a 7. I'll put it on screen in a minute. And then we have George Acheampong. The stats might not look so fantastic. 86% passing accuracy. Should be a little bit better. 12 misplaced passes, even though 2 or 3 of those I felt it was more. Honestly, it was good pass that I thought one was Gusto was a bit asleep for, one Palmer was a bit asleep for. Yeah, but it happens, I guess. Had a successful dribble, 3 out of 10 long balls. Should be a bit better, but I like that he's so confident. I like that he goes for those. But I don't want ground duel. That's not ideal. Obviously, most of that presumably happened in the second half, and it was against Mateta. I presume something that Palace spoke about at halftime, because in the first half, Mateta was more up against Colwell. In the second half, he was more up against Acheampong. And Acheampong struggled a little bit with that. I have to be honest with that. But I guess, am I going to be critical of that? He's normally a right back that sure can play centre back, but right centre back today was a normal centre back and a centre back too. That's different. And Mateta is huge in a struggle for any defense. You know what I mean? Like last week or a couple of weeks ago, Arsenal with Saliba. And what's his face? What's the other centre back called? I forgot. But the other Arsenal centre back, the Brazilian, that keeps scoring goals from headers. Them two struggling against Mateta. So I'm not mad at Josh for struggling a little bit in the second half. In general, I thought I was incredibly surprised and incredibly impressed by how comfortable he was, by how happy he was to use his left foot, by how happy we were to give him the ball. He had the most touches of anybody in the first half, by the way. So yeah, I thought he had a very good game. As a first Premier League start in a position that he's not very used to, I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Now, out-and-out performance, I'd probably give him a 6.5 because it was his first Premier League start. I'll give him a 7. Maybe some people think that's over the top. I don't really care. I thought he was absolutely fantastic, and I hope he keeps starting, honestly, because obviously something I haven't spoken about on my channel yet. Wesley Fofana could be out until the end of the season, out of nowhere. No one understands how. I still hope we sign a centre-back in January. Not sure we will. We recalled Anselmino from loan, but it doesn't look like he's going to be like close to like being used in the starting 11 and stuff. So yeah, trust Acheampong. Give him some more games. Now, obviously, if you give him 3-4 games and he always plays like today, maybe you can't have him as the start. You know what? I think I'll give him a 6.5. regardless, even with it being his first game, just because of the chance and a couple of the misplaced passes that don't need to happen. Do you think Maresca see Acheampong as a centre-back? It's weird that he decided to today start Acheampong in this shape, because when we play our usual back 3-2 in front of them, a build-up, then Acheampong makes a lot more sense than he did today for me. Now, I was still very happy that he played. I still think he played good, but I think he will be even more comfortable and look even better when he's played in our normal build-up shape rather than today, because he's clearly not a normal centre-back, but you can tell that he's tall. Like he has quite a tall haircut, so but maybe just smaller than Kowa, maybe even taller. Of course, physically, he's still quite slim, but he's 18, man. The guy might also still grow. So, there's still some time to go from that front, I would say. Acheampong has immense talent, absolutely. Tosin and Disasi should be ashamed of themselves, and Kunku too, 100%. Acheampong was good, yeah. Jeff Palmer to right wing and play Olmo up. No. Bro, the way we play, there's no point in playing Palmer at right wing. There's no point in doing that. In the way, like, I see what you're saying, but Maresca is not going to go away from his principle. And as he shouldn't, by the way, like his principle, he was hired on the basis of his principle. If you now does something different, you might not have hired him, right? That's the whole thing. If you put him wide, now you can do it towards the end of games. I would like to see it tried at times, but you can't. We can't start games like that. Did all right, to be honest. 6.5, fair enough. Nkunku definitely shouldn't. Did someone notice the shot which Jackson missed was exactly how Gordon scored against Spurs today? No, because I didn't see that. But yeah, in-game management, Maresca shambolic, sits there and watches awful second halves again, doesn't try to do anything different. Yeah, I was like I said, until the 70th minute or so, I understood not making subs because I didn't feel there was anyone on the bench that would make us better in that moment, the way we were playing. So yeah, it's a tough one. Shout out to you, Mazza, by the way. Welcome. He says, very happy for him. First game, 7 for me. I'm not sure. 7.5. I think, 6.5. I think I'll stick to the 6.5 for now, but I might change my mind. Later. We'll see. Let's get back into FOTMob and let's do our 2 fullbacks. Before we do Gusto, I'd like to do Cucurella. And honestly, in my opinion, Cucurella was our worst player today. After maybe Jackson, as a whole. Yeah, tough. Excuse me. The passing accuracy is still good. 7 misplaced passes, you can't moan too much about. 4 out of 5 long balls is good. Only 1 attempt to cross. 2 out of 2 tackles is strong. 2 out of 5 grounders is okay. 1 out of 3 air duels is okay. But he just didn't defend the space behind him well enough, in my opinion. He just didn't. That even goes too easy for Munoz, him to get in behind and to receive the ball in this area, and Cucurella had to close down, and then the cross usually came off. Now, sure, the centre-backs and the DMs should defend those crosses because Cucurella did still slow him down in delivering, but it was just a bit too easy for them to switch that play to Munoz and then just have a lot of joy in the game. That was a little bit too easy, so I was not happy with Cucurella. I'll give Cucurella a 5. As we get to Gusto, this is where it becomes interesting. Now, he had a couple of moments where he was fantastic in defending. Like, there was 2 moments where I was like, how did you get the ball there? There was an amazing block that he pulled off on one of those occasions where Cucurella couldn't stop the cross coming in after the switch in behind him. But on the goal, he could have been a little bit quicker to react. But obviously, Palmer lost the ball in a moment where we tried to open up and go on attack. That's when we need to stop losing the ball. Unfortunately, today was Palmer. Last week, it was... can't remember who it was that gave the ball away. But we just keep doing that in the wrong moments at the moment. And it feels a little bit like it did on the Pote initially, at times on the Poch, where we give the ball away in those exact moments where we can't give the ball away. We need to stop giving the ball away in exactly those moments. Obviously, the opponents try to do it as well, but we need to just avoid it. We have to avoid those situations. But yeah, in general, I thought Gusto looked better because he was allowed to play wide again today. But there were still moments where I'm like, Gusto, man. Passing accuracy is okay. 12 misplaced passes could be better. Dribbles could be a bit better too. At least 1 accurate cross. I can't remember it, but at least 1. 4 out of 7 long balls, pretty decent. The duel rates, though, bloody hell, that's shocking. I'm surprised. I didn't expect that to see that now. Yeah, I'm not happy with that. Gusto, man. He wasn't energetic today. I'll give Cuckoo a 5. I'll give Gusto 5.5. Now, some people might want me to give him also a 5 or maybe even lower. But I thought he had more, like maybe he had a couple of more bad moments than Cuckoo did. But I thought he certainly had more good moments than Cucurella did. So I'll stick with this. I'm going to stay true to my word. JP says, Gusto 6, I know his job is defending, but going forward, he offers absolutely nothing. Yeah. It's tough. Yeah, man. I'm so gutted. I'm so annoyed. Like, it honestly, like I said it earlier already, it feels like I've either been transported back in time to the beginning of the Poch season or the end of the Potter-Lampard season. Or it feels like the last 4 months that we experienced, 5 months, were just a dream. And now we've woken up in reality again. Like, it genuinely pisses me off how we can throw it away like this. It genuinely really irks me. We get to Moises Caicedo. Not his best game either today. There was a couple of occasions where he got just taking the ball off him, which just shouldn't. Sure, a bit unlucky in moments. That shot could have been a little bit better too, that you can see on the shot map there. Passing was good, though. He didn't give the ball away much, did he? Dribbles, I'm surprised that there isn't at least one successful dribble because he started a nice attack with a great dribble and then just passed it off. So I don't know how that's not a complete dribble, but anyway. 3 out of 6 long balls, all right. 0 out of 2 tackles. I bet one of them was actually not a foul or for something. I mean, how many fouls did he give away? 3. I reckon 2 of those 3 fouls weren't fouls. I reckon. But yeah, 4 out of 10. Not great. Not great from Caicedo. They just gave the ball away a little bit too easily. And just a little bit too often. Not with passing, but just getting caught. I'm undecided between a 6 and a 5.5 today. I'm going to still give him a 6 because Caicedo still does a lot. You know, Caicedo still does a very good job in the grand scheme of things, and maybe had 1 or 2 moments where you should have, or 3 moments we should have done a bit better. But I still think in general he actually did all right, if that makes sense. But you know, each to their own, I suppose. Funny you say that. Maresca sounds like them in his post press conference with the excuses about not being clinical. I mean, it's true, unfortunately, but obviously that's partly down to him as well. We're experiencing the latter half of last season's championship form from Leicester. But I think that's a bit too easy because it's got nothing to do with the manager that Palmer misses a tap in. It's got, and if anything, I would say the fact that we shaped up so differently today is a big proof that Maresca has learned and improved from last season. Because at Leicester, he didn't do exactly this. He always did the same shape, the same build up to the same system build up nearly every game, nearly the same players every game. We rotate sometimes, we change the shape sometimes, we change the way we intend to build up sometimes. Like, we do a lot of things differently. So I really don't agree with this, JC. But obviously, I understand where people are coming from when they say this because it just feels similar. Obviously, they had a big lead at Christmas, and then it kind of dropped off towards the second half of the season and got quite close by the end. But I think we're seeing that he's doing things differently. So, yeah, we need to just hope that the results turn as well. Gusto might have from the fact that we don't have anyone to take advantage of his crosses, 100%. Although his crosses sometimes are also bad. Look on the bright side, at least now we don't have Poch to blame for it. Yeah. Feels like Lampard's January 2021 run. Please, no. Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. It's kind of what it feels like. I think with the ownership being different now, I don't think it's going to end the same. But it does feel a little bit like that at the moment. And that's really frustrating because we started so well. And then now we're just spiraling a little bit. That's what it feels like because it's like we haven't scored more than 1 goal in 4 games now. And obviously we scored 2 against Brentford, but that was quite close with those 2 as well. So it's like our attack was so good until like 4 weeks ago, a month ago, if that. And now recently we can't score. We can't score more than 1 goal. It's absolutely wild. Caicedo got a toe on Mateta's shot going in far corner. Santos rooted to the spot. Thought Moy was at least 7. Are you sure, Mazza, that wasn't Cole that got that deflection in? Because Caicedo blocked from the other side now. So wouldn't Caicedo's touch have got it closer to target? Now, sure, it might have given it more of a spin and therefore turn it away from goal. But I thought it might have been Cole that got a little bit of a block in there. It's more like the 21-22 season where we collapsed mid-season. Yeah, but our start was much better and much longer. But, I mean, let's just hope we don't collapse on that. Okay, what are your minimum expectations? If we win the Europa Conference League, is that enough? Well, it depends on... In terms of winning, yes. But top 4 is the absolute must. Like, there is no question about it. We must get top 4, and I'm still confident that we will. You know, we have a bit of a blip now. Some teams will have had a bit of a blip a couple of weeks ago. Some teams will have a bit of a blip in a few weeks to come. We just need to get ourselves out of this rut, and that one of the reasons why it's so frustrating, the fact that we bottled that again today, is the fact that we don't have a game for 8 days now, and the next game is in the 3rd round of the FA Cup against Morecambe, which doesn't really help any of our, you know, I'm sure we'll win that game, but it doesn't really help us getting over our terrible Premier League form. So it's just the fact that we couldn't beat Ipswich and we couldn't beat Palace. I am furious. I am absolutely furious. If we thinking same one that then possible, doesn't matter now, I suppose. No, I agree. When we rely on Jackson to score goals and he misses sitters, we're going to struggle. The big sitters was missed by Palmer today. I also think Enzo's chance was bigger than Jackson's chances. Now, the one way he goes for it with the outside of his right foot, he should have probably done better. But he should have gone with his left foot, really. He should have gone with the left foot. What then happens if he does? We don't know. Lavia, Gallagher, Caicedo, and Enzo would have been the best midfield in the league. A combination of grit, flair, stamina, and creativity. We never should have sold Connor. Yeah, I agree. I said this from the get-go that we never should have sold Connor. And that we left ourselves lying in midfield. And I find it stupid. And now we're suffering from it. And I'm not surprised. Now, is Connor having the best time at Atletico? Most of the time, not doing much. But would he have been important to keep in the squad? Sometimes score a goal from distance. Sometimes, you know, bring that extra energy, bring that grit, like you said, Lee. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. And it's frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Let's move up the pitch and let's get to Enzo Fernandez and his rating for today. Because, again, a tough one, because I actually thought he had a good game. I'm not sure what people thought, and let's see what the stats say. This chance that he could have just done a little bit better with. And it was just the wrong side. If Palmer, if a left foot shoots here, that's a goal. But because he's right-footed and he didn't trust his left foot from that distance, he had to go with his right foot, and then he just dragged it wide. Decent passing, can't complain with that. Had a successful dribble as well. 6 out of 8 long balls is good. The cross is okay, could be a tad better, of course. 1 out of 3 tackles. At least half of their ground duels are still more than Caicedo had. I thought Enzo had a good game. The thing I'm not sure about this, do we need a 6.5 or a 7? What do we give him? I think 6.5. Do I even think Cole is out? Now, if Cole gets a 7, Enzo gets a 7. I'm sorry. I have to do it. I think Enzo Fernandez had a good game. I genuinely thought he did. Maybe Enzo needs to get back with his wife and number again for another generational run. Yeah, maybe. Top 4, please. NFA Cup, Carabao. We're already out of the Carabao Cup, Ryan. Conference League would be nice, but missing top 4 at this point is failure. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Chelsea may not finish in the top 4 due to lack of experienced leaders. Yeah, if we don't, that's why. But not just lack of experienced leaders on the pitch, also in management. Like, our manager is also very inexperienced. People forget that. And people forget that he also has to learn. Like, obviously, you're thinking, well, if you're a Chelsea manager, you shouldn't still have to learn. But it's not on him that he was chosen the Chelsea manager. It's on the sport directors that decided, okay, we'll go for a young guy who has good principles, good ideas, good work ethic, that works well with players, is very smart with the media, speaks well, knows England from already as a player. But if we bottle it, it's going to be because of that. Absolutely. And the other thing to maybe add to that is also 5th, as it's almost guaranteed that 5th also gets you Champions League. Now, if 5th gets us Champions League and we finish 5th, would I still be a little bit disappointed? Yes, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't be that bothered. Like, say we win the Conference League and come 5th, but 5th gets Champions League. What big difference does it make between coming 4th and 5th then if both get Champions League? That's all I'll say. But yeah, Uzay at least is agreeing with my 7. Let's get to Cole Palmer. Yeah. I don't know what to say because the goal was good. The composure, him being called in front of goal is not new. But I could not believe when he missed the cutback from Enzo. I could not believe that he missed it. It was right here. And he just had to tap it home. It was a complete tap-in. That shot, by the way, pissed me right off. Should have played Jackson through. Might have been a huge chance. And he just put it 5 yards over. Pissed me right off, that goal. That shot. 10 misplaced passes. Not too bad, to be fair. But it's just frustrating that he missed the biggest chance. And then he gave the ball away for us to concede. And it just shouldn't have happened. 1 out of 5 crosses should be better. 3 out of 5 long was obviously good. 1 out of 3 ground duels could be a bit better too. Like, if he's playing in this 8 role or half 8 role, he needs to, like, obviously he's more of a 10 than an 8, I know. But sometimes he needs to drop like an 8 would. And then he needs to be a bit more in terms of tackles as well. But he's just too nonchalant at the moment. And that frustrates me a little bit because there's corners, there is crosses, there is passes that he just plays too nonchalantly. There's corners that he doesn't get past the first man. There's crosses that he doesn't get past the first man. And why? Because he hits them too nonchalantly. Like, concentrate, bro. Concentrate. And you're fine. But I know you're good, but you need to take shit seriously as well. You have to. Palmer cost us the game. Yeah, if anyone cost us the game, I have to say it's Palmer. But it's a combination of, obviously, Palmer, Jackson, and us not being able to see a game out. 7.5 is way too high for me, in my opinion. I'm more thinking around here, 6. Only criticism I got today is as soon as we went 1-0 up, sloppy passes started and nerves were sky high. Poor distribution from Sanchez, also relying too much on Cole, and others need to step up. Yeah, we do rely too much on Cole. Yeah, I'll give Palmer a 6. I'll give Palmer a 6, and that's because he scored. Honestly, I think I'm being nice by giving him a 6. I could easily give him less because it's unforgivable to me that you miss a tap-in. Like, sure, Neto hit that pass with a lot of pace, and Palmer probably didn't expect it, but you got to just use your brain. And I know he might not be the smartest guy in the world, but Neto was sprinting as hard as he could. He was outrunning 2 players to get to that ball, to get the cut in. 2 players. He was sprinting at full pelt, trying to get the ball in before it goes out of play. There is no way you can run Usain Bolt fast and then swing your foot slowly to play a soft ball into the middle. You can't. You need to hit it with pace because you're sprinting at pace. And Palmer just underestimated it and misjudged it and just missed the ball, missed the tap in. Would have been 2-0, would have been game over, in my opinion. But he missed it. And it frustrates me. It frustrates me a lot. Jadon Sancho, I said it already and I tweeted it as well. That first half from Jadon Sancho was a 10 out of 10 first half. It was absolutely incredible. Every sense of the word, Jadon Sancho was incredible in that first half. Really, truly. In every sense of the word. The assist, the way he mugged the defender off, you know, with the fake around him. Then the pass to Palmer through 3 players. Just outrageously good from Sancho. Outrageously good. The defensive work, the nutmeg in our own box to defend. There was one moment where he got taken the ball off him, trying to help in defense. That led to a chance, and Cole put in a good block. That was frustrating. And then in the second half, he didn't do much. You only really noticed him in trying to help to defend. Attacking wise, you didn't notice him anymore. And then he got subbed off eventually. But Maresca was a complete waste of time over on the left hand side. I don't know why you wouldn't have switched Neto and Maresca. It makes no sense to me. I'm thinking I kind of have to give him a 7.5 because I think it was that good in the first half. Even though I thought the second half there wasn't much done, I think I still have to give him. I still have to give him a 7.5. I feel like I have to. Well, yeah. I mean, you can say that, but you know that's not quite how it works. It was him that didn't make it 2-0, which is what we all know we need, and it was him that gave the ball away for us to concede the equalizer. 82nd minute goalkeeper can use his bozo brain and kick it long. Maresca playing Palmer left half spaces on himself too. Yeah, it's true. I don't get that either. I said it already. I don't understand why we changed Palmer and Enzo for the second half. I thought it worked better first half. I thought Enzo was a bit better. I thought Palmer was most certainly better. Yeah, I don't agree. But yeah, Karan agrees with my 7.5. Brilliant first half. Second half, a little subdued. Good double bodied. Yeah, he did. Palmer resting around in midfield. Absolutely. Yeah. I'll give Sancho that 7.5, but that's all I can give him. I move on to Pedro Neto on the other side, and he had a tough afternoon. Where I felt a bit bad for him because he should have had that assist. That must be an assist. I still can't get over that. Cole Palmer, of all people, missed that ball. But should he have had a penalty here? Does anybody think, put a yes or no? Or if you want a 1 or a 2, a 1 for yes and 2 for no, if you thought we should have had a penalty for that potential foul on Pedro Neto. I mean, they showed the replay, and you really couldn't tell for sure whether the guy got the ball or not. It was very, very difficult to judge for me. Honestly, not 100% sure. Not 100% sure. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, all of you guys need to go and leave a like right now. All of you that are watching, please go down below and hit that like button for me. It really helps me out. It spreads these streams out to more people. And of course, if you haven't done that yet, please subscribe. That would be massively appreciated too. That would be massively appreciated. We'll look in a second whether we'll find any quotes or anything that are particularly interesting, but purely on Neto. I mean, yeah, good passing, I guess. Only misplaced 4 passes. Not too bad. One shot that he dragged wide. Oh no, he got blocked. Bit unfortunate. Again, I disagree. What constitutes a dribble to these people? There was at least one complete dribble. 3 out of 5 4 long balls is good. 1 out of 2 crosses okay, better than the rest. 3 out of 11 ground duels, not good enough if we're being totally honest. Should have been a bit stronger. I'll give Neto. Yes, pen. I don't know how that wasn't a pen. It's weird, isn't it? Because like my commentators and the referee, judging by how he was acting to the players, seemed like he just about got the ball. Maybe he did. It was really, really difficult to judge for me. Palace handball, the pen, in my opinion, we should have had a pen today. We're robbed. Yeah, also that handball, like I said earlier, they didn't even show it. They didn't even show a replay of it, whether he got it or not. Neto 6.5 for you. Yeah, no, I agree with that by Karan, absolutely. We can't rely on pens. Refs don't like us. I mean, true, but when you get fouled in the box, you will want a pen. You know what I mean? Like, it's not relying on pens. It's like, if you deserve one, you want it. Do you know what I mean? Well, yeah. No. If you compare it to Delap's last week, then obviously this is stonewall. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. Ask Pickford and Gusto. Do you know what I mean? What rating will I give Neto? I don't know, guys. 6.5. I'll give him a 6. You know, it should have been a 6.5 if Palmer took the chance, but maybe I've given a lot of these guys too high of a rating. I'll stick with it. Because, I mean, we did get a draw. Obviously, we're not happy with the draw. I'll give him a 5.5. Is that harsh? Maybe. But I have to. Yeah. You know what? I'll drop Sancho to a 7 as well because he just didn't do enough second half. I know he was incredibly good first half, but he just didn't do enough second half. I'm sorry. I just overall, nah. I'm very undecided today, guys. I'm very undecided. Let's move to Nicholas Jackson. Get your abuse out, guys. Get your abuse ready. If you want to abuse Nicholas Jackson, now is your time. Don't in an ideal world. Of course, the first one is to be subbed off again. That one is the biggest one for me. That one was the outside of his boot. This one got blocked. That was a bit unfortunate. That one, he should have got on target. He should have scored 1, maybe 2 today. He really should have done. Passing's all right, you know. Don't mind too much. None of them on target. That was frustrating today. Tackling. I mean, he got himself involved. The laying off, the movement was okay. But I have to give him something like a 4 today. I'll give him a 4.5. Because I think if I go below 5, I think that's overdoing it a little bit. Because some of the chances were still difficult. Would anyone want to? I mean, Karan said 3. Also, the number of clear chances he missed. Jackson 5, he held the ball up well enough. I mean, I think 3 is a bit far. Like, I don't think the chances were that clear in total. But I get what you mean, though. Now, then, Jackson was replaced in the 81st minute by Marc Guehi, somewhat surprisingly. Didn't see that coming. And Sancho was replaced by Maresca, which was a complete waste of time. So I'm giving Maresca an NA, but that's that. And Guehi gets an NA as well, but, I mean, played 9 minutes plus stoppage time. Was there anything to say about Guehi? Touched the ball 4 times, 4 passes, only 1 of them complete. Not exactly brilliant. Was trying to press at least. Did not even touch the ball. Supposedly 5 times. Didn't see it once. Bloody hell, yeah. It's frustrating, man. I need to see if I can already see some quotes or not. I had to undo my notification from CFC Daily because it just became too negative. And it started to really frustrate me. Is there no quotes from Jackson yet? From Maresca yet? Not a single quote from Maresca yet. Maybe I need to check for Pice again, but just to show you guys this, I'll bring it up there. Sancho said, I think if we got the second goal, we would have been more relaxed and they would have come out more and that would have created more space in behind for us. That didn't happen, unfortunately, so we have to learn from it and move on. I thought we played quite well and controlled a lot of the game, so it was very frustrating to concede late on. I agree with Sancho in principle, honestly. I agree. I think that we overall played quite well. Palace also played quite well. but we just didn't take our chances. I don't think we were as a whole bad, and I'm not having anybody suggest so either. Did Pys tweet anything? Sounds like Chelsea do have the option to recall Glasner. Responded, they have 5 centre backs. I don't know if they need. I don't know 8. Well, because there was a report yesterday that Chelsea can't recall Trevor Chalobah, obviously with our injury crisis at centre back now. Obviously, he wasn't allowed to play against us today because he's, loan tied. Interesting that Maresca is a bit more in that direction. Glasner. Okay, now we're seeing a little bit of something. Maresca hints at centre-back signing. With Fofana and White injuries, we will see if something can happen. Okay, so there's a potential we're signing a centre-back, so it's something at least. All the players were good, but if I have to choose the best one, Josh was the best player. He can be a top player for this club. We decided today because we saw he was ready. You saw how good he is. Thank you, Maresca. Thank you. I'm going to take this now and send this to Amit. He's probably not watching anymore because I banned him, but it is what it is. And then what are we saying? All the players were good. Basically said the same thing twice. Why did you tweet the same thing twice, Pys? Big up. Enzo. Maresca. Big up. Josh. Acheampong. So just quickly tweeting that. That was it in terms of quotes so far. Let's see what happens. Obviously, we want to send it back. Let's see what we're going to do. Probably not much. But it is what it is. I'm just frustrated. Didn't play Disasi for me. 7. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. You know what? Especially after Maresca said it, I feel more vindicated in my opinion. I'm taking Josh Acheampong back up to a 7. Big up Josh Acheampong. My guy. Move Palmer inside a little bit so they don't interfere. And now we need to give Maresca the rating. For starting Acheampong, having that faith, having that trust, you get a point more. Not making any subs again. Even if I thought I didn't really see the need for it, could you have maybe brought Reece on for Gusto if Reece is fit to do so? Maybe. Some extra experience, some extra calmness. But does Reece, with his injury problems, does he add calmness? Or does he make things more nervous because you never know if he's going to get injured any second? It's tough to say. It's really, really tough to say. But we need midfield cover. We need defensive cover, even though Acheampong did a great job. I'll give Maresca. I'll give him a 6 because I really like the fact that he changed it up tactically. I love the fact that he changed it up tactically today. And if people don't accept that we changed it up tactically, we completely changed it up today. Maresca has not been found out. He surprised the opponent today by doing something they did not see coming. And it worked in the first half. If you watched the first half, you could see that it worked. We didn't take our chances in the second half. It didn't work as well anymore. So I'll give him a 6 for deciding to go with Acheampong and for changing it up tactically. Maybe, but he's not getting a higher rating because of the result, 1, and 2, because he could have changed something in the second half because Palace reacted to what we did, and then we didn't really have a solution anymore. We didn't really have grip on the game to the extent that they had a lot of chances, a lot of pressure moments. Even if it didn't always lead into real chances, we struggled to sustain and contain the pressure. And we couldn't really get out. We couldn't get our passing going. We didn't hit on the counter properly. It was a little bit silly. Now, is that on the manager? No. But could he have tried to do something? Yes. So I'm not giving him higher than a 6, but a 6 it shall be. Yeah. And at the end of the day, I'm just frustrated. That it's going backwards like this right now. The guy waits till we concede to bother making a sub. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think Gil was supposed to come on before the goal happened. But, that doesn't really help us, does it? Actually, Gil came on. Sorry, guys. Sorry, bro. We made the sub in the 81st minute and we conceded in the 82nd. So unfortunately, Chelsea boy, you're wrong. We subbed before we conceded. Disasi signing is as bad as Bakayoko. The difference is we have backups, so Disasi don't need to play much. Ooh, I think that's a bit of a stretch now. Maybe in comparison to how good we were at the time and how good we are now. But yeah, can't help but feel like Trev would slot in perfectly at right centre back. So would I. So obviously there is right centre backs that we could buy that are better than Chalobah. There's no doubt about it. But whether we will buy one that's better than Trevor Chalobah, I'm less sure about. But honestly, we should look for a first choice one, like a really high level one. In my opinion, we should get someone experienced, but not like Tosin. Not like 27, 28, 26, whatever he was when he signed in 26 at the time, now 27, I think. 3 years Prem, 3 years Championship. I don't need that. Play for fucking Fulham. someone that has experience of a high level. That's what we need. Because Fofana has essentially spent 3 seasons now without playing. First season, didn't play much because he got injured in that Milan game at home under Potter. Last season, didn't play a single minute. And this season, sure, he played quite a bit throughout autumn. But now we might be out until the end of the season again. The Chelsea boy asked, do you think we will still get top 4? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I'm going to be confident. And I'm going to answer my own question, the title and the thumbnail. Is there a crisis or just a blip? I think it is still just a blip. But it's incredibly shit timing. The fact that we now don't have a game for 8 days. And this is what it is. Like, it's really, 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 really frustrating. But yeah, what can you do? What can you do? It really pisses me off. By the way, guys, what I haven't plugged yet today, me and Pys, of course, have a podcast, Chelsea Unfiltered. There's a new episode every single Tuesday. There will be a new episode this coming Tuesday as well. Last week, unfortunately, Pys was ill, even though he went to the Ipswich game and now today went to the Palace game. But he was ill on when we were recording on Tuesday. So this episode, I was joined by Ollie J. Carpenter. Shout out, Ollie. Link to the latest episode is down in the description. We'll be back with Pys next Tuesday. So check out the links to Spotify and Apple Podcasts down in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, I mean, what can I even say? I'm frustrated, man. Like I said, I feel teleported back in time. On another note, what's up, Chelsea? Always slacking in December. It's become a bit of a habit every season. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? There was a time where we always slacked in November, and now at the moment we're always slacking in December, and it's pissing me off. Like 4 games around Christmas, haven't won a single one. What is this? Like, is Maresca just the Grinch? Is that what's happening? I would like Chelsea to sign 2 quality centre backs. Cole is not progressing as I would like. That's harsh, man. I thought Cole was good today. And he's young. People forget how young he is. Like, people think players go from being 20 to being world-class in the space of 6 months. That's what people think. There's a reason why centre-backs at their best. Look at Van Dijk. Van Dijk was 27 when he joined Liverpool. Van Dijk was he even at Celtic yet at Koval's age? Like, calm it, man. Calm it. Because, and Mazda says as well, I want 2 tier 1 centre-backs, especially if we get Champions League. I mean, in the summer, we should add another one. I agree with that. But now to ask for 2 is a bit wild. We're obviously not signing 2 centre-backs in January. Like, come on, be serious, guys. Be lucky if we sign 1 and don't just go with Anselmino or recall someone if we have the option to recall Chalobah. That's the question now. Would I prefer to recall Chalobah or sign someone? Difficult question, that. Difficult question. I mean, does anybody else have a couple of more questions? I'll give it another 1 or 2 minutes to see if there's anything else to discuss, anything else to talk about. Again, guys, appreciate you for tuning in. Hit the like button if you haven't done that yet. Subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Would be nice. Would be massively appreciated. Yeah, would be Groot. Would be Groot and good. I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to see if I get another kind of response or whatever, or a kind of question. I'll check the chat again in a moment, and then we'll go from there. So, do we sign anyone this month? Yes. I like the way Maresca just spoke in a press conference. I do think we'll make 1 or 2 signings this January. I agree. 1 centre back, 1 goalkeeper, 1 striker. That's all we need, and also a whole new medical team. I mean, the medical team is tough, isn't it? Because at the beginning of the season, you want to go, now we don't have Poch anymore. We have a manager that plays less strenuous football. We don't get injuries, and now we have 12 injuries all the same. It's not actually 12, but loads. We will get 1 centre back this January, I think. I don't think we'll get a goalkeeper at all. Like, there's no chance we get a goalkeeper now. In the summer, maybe, but not now. A striker, if Nkunku is sold, maybe. If we don't sell Nkunku, I don't think we're signing a striker. I think the only other option, other than centre-back, is if we get finally the result of Mudrik's B sample, then we might sign a winger. Maybe. But, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to round this one out. Unless you have another question. If you have another question, pump it in. We'll stay another minute. We'll stay another minute and see what you guys think and say. But yeah, it's wild to me that some people are literally saying Acheampong is not amazing. I mean, if you're still here, you're a clown. That's what you are. And don't you forget to reply to my message, by the way. Don't you forget to reply to it. I'll remember. You please remind me, though, to at some point, oh my days. To at some point remind me to unblock you at some point, because obviously I don't want to block you forever. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to round this one out. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, of course, we'll be back well, I'm not sure if I'll stream between now and next weekend. The two Arsenal centre backs are nowhere near 27. True, valid. But have they won anything? No, but they are better. No, that's fair. That's fair. But they're still significantly older than Colwell. I mean, I'll entertain you. I'll amuse you. Arsenal are currently playing 0-0 against Brighton as of now. No, actually, they are 1-0 up. Thanks for the light. Gabriel, 27, by the way. Gabriel is 27. Saliba, 23. Now, Saliba is obviously still very young. So let's see. In terms of Saliba, and fair play to him, he's bloody brilliant. But Levi Colwell is still only 21. That's still 2 years. And he's still fantastic. To start every Premier League game at that level, at that age, I think it's good. Peace out, bro. I'm off back to work. Much love. Up the Chelsea. Mazza, you need to tell me someone where you're from. Where are you working? Saturday? What are you doing? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, up the Chelsea. Upwards and onwards. My God, this one is tough. I'm really frustrated. I'm really frustrated at not winning again. 4 games in a row. 22nd of January. Was it 22nd of December, 26th of December, 30th of December, and 4th of January. Didn't win. Piss off, man. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea, upwards and onwards, and I'll see you next time.